firstly, may I welcome you and thank you for allowing me to tell you a little with regards to the Celtic way of evangelism. Before going any further, we should understand who the ancient Celtic people were. These were people who were grouped up in small tribes who, although living within the Roman Empire, except for the Picts up in Scotland and the Irish, who were considered too unruly to become part of the Roman Empire, remained very tribal, pagan, and very polytheistic, meaning they worshipped many gods. This way of life is now, again, widely being the fastest growing religion. So, take a look at those. So now, let's move on to the next one. Now, the best evangelism is talking the talk, or should I say, the art of speaking. If the preacher does not come over sincere, then no one will ever be converted, and those who are already converted will wander from the flock and worship will decrease. The knowledge and use of local sayings and dialects also help a great deal. For example, if I went to a non-English speaking country and preached a word in English, I wouldn't get very far. But if I took the time to learn the dialect, at least in a pitting sense, I would go a lot further and would be respected more. The early evangelists would often use objects just laying around the place, the encampments, just to get, just to portray a clearer picture of Christianity to the Celtic Britons. St. Patrick, for example, used the three-leaf clover to explain the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And many pagan symbols were used for easy understanding, easy transition from paganism into Christianity. St. Columba even stated, "Christ the Lord is my druid," thus showing just how pagan Britain was in these times. Unlike Roman traditions within the church, the Celtic way of evangelism meant a more integrated and inclusive style, unlike the hierarchical system of the Roman Catholicism style. Evangelists will live amongst the everyday folk and not bored of a local nobleman as what was so common in the Roman way. St. Patrick of Ireland fails in this regard, as he in fact insisted on Latin being spoken in religious services. So, moving on. So, in conclusion, so are we able to implement the Celtic ways in modern evangelism? Put it bluntly, yes. George G. Hunter III, in his book, The Celtic Way of Evangelism, states, overall, Roman-like exclusionary attitudes and practices are more epidemic in churches than almost anyone recognises. A church might say, we are a friendly church, inclusiveness is our priority. Or everyone is welcome, but most people will only visit a church or join a church if the church invites them. This is a stance to which I agree with. Church was a large part of a community where members of the community moved in. A local pastor would go and visit and maybe take a basket of fruit or a few essentials for daily living. This first meeting and showing of support would often prove fruitful in mutual support later down the line. If the church was to hold a fundraiser, or maybe possibly the possibility of a new member for the congregation. Recently, a former prisoner turned pastor for the Elim Church movement had noticed just how many people between the age of 18 and 30 were just hanging around on street corners and basically getting up to no good. So he started up what he called the the Chaff Church, where he went out and spoke to many of them. Gradually, the crime level went down, and the number of new Christians went up. Many of the ways of passing good news are still very much the same, but the ways of delivering it has changed with modern technology. Churches must become equipped to use all new and up-and-coming medias. If this is not done, the only place the world will be found in the library. Christianity will become a small cult, whilst other religions are free to profit on our errors. Blame, in part, lay at the feet of publishers of Christian material, such as books and leaflets. These groups and publishers often add a surcharge to access these materials, which is beyond the budget of many small churches. Thus, these churches find it difficult to evangelise, and within time, the numbers of their congregations dwindle and finally collapse. Resources should be available to everyone at a cost-effective price, allowing members to evangelise and help the society to which they live. Churches can only survive if they have the support from the public to which they serve. So the more a church is opening its doors and inviting people from every walk of life in, the more likely the church is going to survive. And on that note, I say thank you, and for further reading, please look at these resources. Now I'm happy to answer any questions.